Live from El Camino College in Torrance, California, ECRLIve is on the air. Hi, I'm Jack Dorfman, sitting alongside Garrett Finley, and tonight we'll be bringing you the first ever CIF LA City Section Open Division Football Championship between the Crenshaw Cougars and the defending Division I champion Narbonne Gauchos. Garrett, tell me a little bit about this game.
Well, Jack, these two teams met the past 2 years in the championship, but this year is different. Crenshaw's quarterback Isaiah Johnson is in a new Cougar uniform this year, but is used to this stage. Last year he led Los Angeles Romans to a D1 championship, and this year he looks to lead the Cougars to their first championship in 4 years. On the other side, Narbonne has won 3 championships in a row dating back to 2014. They beat Crenshaw the past 2 seasons and look to do it a third time in 2017.
Garrett, you mentioned Isaiah Johnson for Crenshaw. He's been a large part of the Cougars' success this season, but maybe just as equally important, it's his dual threat senior receiver, Rayshawn Williams. He's touted as one of the top receivers in Southern California coming off a knee surgery last season, but he's been able to help carry the Cougar offense to a 10-2 start to the season.
On the defensive side for the Gauchos, they have an All-American outside linebacker, Raymond Scott. He was 6'1", 215 as a freshman and has been featured on this Narbonne varsity team for the past 4 seasons. Scott is a 4-star recruit and has committed to USC. It will be interesting to see what his impact tonight.
So plenty of talent on both sides of the ball for both teams. We're going to take a short break until this game gets underway. Thanks for listening to ECRLIve, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Open Division Championships. Narbonne now getting ready to kick. Solomon Hassan and Jr. back there to receive the kick. And Hassan gets it. Gets out to the 20. He's spun around. And he's going to get brought down right at about the 20. So not the greatest field position for Narbonne. Or excuse me, for Crenshaw to start. See if the Narbonne defense can pin him back here.
This will be interesting to see Isaiah Johnson, how he performs in this Open Division Championship. Last year he won Division II Championship with Los Angeles Romans.
So Johnson back in the shotgun. He's going to one receiver to his left, 3 to his right. Takes the snap, looks right. Fires a screen out to Hassan, and he's going to get brought down hard after a gain of 1. So a big tackle there by the Gauchos. And the Narbonne defense, really just like the Cougar defense, neither one gives up a lot of points. They haven't played a lot of opponents that have been able to stop them. Crenshaw got stopped early on. They missed Isaiah Johnson for the first 5 games of their season. That's when they lost to Mission Hills 24-8 to start their season. So here's Johnson in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to his right. One comes in motion. He's going to take it himself. Gets through a tackle, gets out to the 25. So a designed run for Johnson. Gets him to the 25, and it's 3rd and 5 now. Two receivers to the left and right, a running back now in the backfield for the Cougars. Takes a snap, looks out to his left, a low throw, skips just out of the reach of his top target, Rayshawn Williams. And Garrett, what'd you see on that first drive? Not too much going for the Cougars there.
Really not too much going for the Cougars. Blocking was not that good by the Cougars. Isaiah Johnson had very little time on that last play. On the second drive, look for them to make some adjustments on an offensive line.
So Crenshaw now getting ready to punt. Get their kick all the way across the 50 to the 40. Here comes Narbonne, a good block there. And that's Logan Taylor. Gets all the way back to the 50. So the Gauchos with pretty good field position to start. And a little bit of a scrum at about the 45. So Taylor gets it back. About a 10-yard return there for Narbonne. And Garrett, the Narbonne offense, of course, they have their star quarterback, Jalen Chapman, but another big piece of their offense is their running back, Jamar Jefferson. He's got a lot of offers. And what are you looking for on the offensive side for Narbonne?
Well, like you said, Jalen Chapman, great quarterback, been with the program a long time, committed to Rutgers, looks to lead his team to another championship in 4 years.
So Jefferson gets out to his right, makes a cut back to his left, and he's got a little room on the left sideline. Almost had a block. But a pretty interesting play. Gets the sweep, and then the shovel pass. He'll get all the way to the 31.
Good cutback there by Jamar Jefferson. Went right, saw they had no room, went back to the left, and picked up a nice gain down to the 31-yard line.
So it looked like a hard count there from Chapman. Get the penalty on Crenshaw. They're going to call an offsides, and they're going to get a little farther up. So 1st and 5 now for Chapman and his offense. He's got a lone receiver to his left, trips to the right. Jefferson in the backfield. Here's a snap. A screen out to the right, and they're going to call a drop. Or knee, knee hit the ground.
Jack, one thing I've noticed about this Narbonne offense, their linemen are set up 1 to 2 yards apart from each other. That just tells you how good this offensive line is and creating a pocket for the quarterback.
2 receivers to the left and right of Chapman now in the shotgun. Run to the left. Jefferson finds a hole up the middle, and he'll pick up 2 or 3, gets out to the left hash. So Jefferson, one of the players we mentioned earlier, he's got plenty of offers to play football in college. Colorado State, Colorado, San Jose State, Hawaii, and the list goes on. We'll see how he and Chapman can get the offense going. So 3rd and 7. Chapman in the shotgun. Looks to his right. He's got an open receiver over the middle. That's Steve Jenkins, and he's going to get all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Narbonne Gauchos strike first. A 27-yard touchdown for Steve Jenkins. And Garrett, not too exciting of a drive there. Just a couple big plays got them into the end zone.
Well, that last touchdown the Narbonne just scored, Cougars blitzed the outside linebacker and left the slot receiver wide open for a little 10-yard out and went right in for the end zone.
So Chapman showing off his accuracy early, a wide open receiver. And the PAT is good. It's 7-0. Narbonne with the lead. We're going to take a short break. This is ECR Live. Narbonne getting ready to kick now. Taking an early 7-0 lead, 9:33 left in the first quarter. Deep kick. Gets out to about the 7. Picked up by Hassan. He's going to find some room out to the left. He's going to get past the 30. And he's brought down from behind by the Gauchos, but a big run by Hassan.
Good vision there by Hassan. Started on the right side and ended up on the left side of the field. Got all the way down to the 39-yard line. Sets up the Cougars for great field position.
So a 38-yard line field possession, pretty good for the Cougars. They're going to hand it off to the right. And there's a flag on the play after the tackle. A helmet came off. Hassan running the ball for Crenshaw, and it looks like this penalty is going to go against the Cougars. We'll see what they call these flags for.
Preliminarily been positioned at the 44. Once again, there are penalty flags on the field.
So holding on the Cougars. Sabri White, the senior, with the hold. That's the second penalty of the game for Crenshaw. And they'll lose some of that yardage that Hassan was able to pick up. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And whistles are blown again. And here we go. Johnson in the shotgun. He's got Hassan in the backfield. Calls a receiver in motion. And the ball is fumbled on the transfer. So an unsuccessful handoff. And early on, Crenshaw not catching any breaks.
Quarterback Isaiah Johnson flying over there on the stop for Narbonne, number 8.
Looked like some miscommunication there by Crenshaw. Really didn't know who to give the ball to or keep it there by quarterback Isaiah Johnson.
21. It is now 2nd and 27 for Crenshaw.
Just under 8:45 left now in the first quarter. Crenshaw down 7. And they're in a big hole here on 2nd and 27. So 2 receivers to the left. Solo receiver off to the right. 2 running backs in the backfield. Johnson looks to his left. Another low throw. And it looks like he might have gotten it right back to the original line of scrimmage.
Pass complete from Isaiah Johnson, leftward.
That looked like the exact same play they ended their last drive on. Just Isaiah Johnson with a little bit of a lower throw the first time. Got it up this time and now has a 3rd and 7.
So Rayshawn Williams picking up 19 yards there to get him back to the line of scrimmage. We'll look for him and Johnson to stay together and lead this offense. So 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Johnson looking right. Fires a deep ball over the middle, and it's nearly caught there. Just broken up. That was James Day, the target.
Great pass there by Johnson, just off of the fingertips of James Day. Logan Taylor with the great defensive play there, coming over from the safety position. And now it's 4th and 8, and the Cougars will have to punt.
So Taylor able to stay close enough to make it so that Day did not catch that ball. So Taylor back deep along with Boone. Here's a high punt. Fair caught by Taylor at about the 43. Or excuse me, the 38. And Garrett, we've seen now back-to-back drives where Crenshaw has been unable to get anything going. Narbonne on their last drive helped a little bit by a penalty, but really they looked like it was going to be tough to stop them. Not too much going on the run, though.
No, they've only attempted 1 run, if you include the fumble, 2. Nothing really doing by the O-line. The Narbonne D-line is just overpowering Crenshaw.
So Chapman out of the shotgun. It's a sweep to the left. Jefferson makes a little move, gets out past the 40, and he's just going to get out of bounds at the 42.
We got out of bounds around the 50.
So Jefferson not trying to get too physical early on here. He just glides out of bounds.
There's a gain of 6 yards to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Gauchos.
So a 6-yard run for Jefferson. And there's going to be another run, this time off to the left. Looked like Amir Crowder for Crenshaw. And Garrett, Amir Crowder, one of the top recruited players out of Crenshaw. He's going to college.
Yeah, he's going to Washington State, a 3-star recruit, 6'3", 280, and runs a 5'1", 40. Big man on that defensive line for Crenshaw.
So we'll look for Crowder to keep on stopping Jefferson. So Chapman's got a bunch formation on the right. Fakes a screen. Gets out of the pocket past the pressure. He's going to take off. He's going to take a hit on that Crenshaw sideline. Looked like he might have picked up the first down, but a big hit over there on the right. So Chapman picks up 5. Or excuse me, no, they're going to mark him a little bit short. He picks up 3. But a good job by Chapman showing his legs to get out of the pocket. So 4th and 3 from the 43. They're going to go for it here.
This is surprising here by the Gauchos, going for it on 4th and 3 on such short field for the Cougars.
They're really confident in their defense. Crenshaw hasn't gotten too much going, but it looks like Chapman is going to punt. So a big punt there from Chapman all the way to the 23. And Crenshaw fumbled the ball. We'll see if Narbonne can pick it up. It was fumbled by Crenshaw into another Cougar's hand. But they're going to give it to Crenshaw pretty much right away. So a lucky break there for Crenshaw. They haven't hit too many early on. But both defenses doing a good job of stopping too much offense from going on. So Crenshaw's offense coming out for their 3rd drive. Johnson hasn't gotten too much going. He's got 1 big throw to Williams, but other than that, not much. Handoff up the middle. Hassan's brought down. Looks like after only a pickup of 2.
Brought down by the Gauchos. Darian Butler, Raymond Scott, and Julian Lewis. Crenshaw gain of 2 yards.
So another Williams at the top of your screen. To the left. 2 receivers to the right of Johnson. He takes the snap out of the shotgun, hands it off to the left. to Hassan. He gets brought down hard in the backfield. Looked like he was going to spin off the initial tackle, but he gets brought down for a loss of a few. That'll bring up 3rd and long for Crenshaw. Just under 6 minutes. Narbonne up 7-0 on a touchdown on their first drive to Steve Jenkins. It was a 27-yarder right up the middle.
Lots of yardage on that play.
And on that tackle, Raymond Scott for the Gauchos. Like I mentioned earlier in the game, he's looking for his 4th ring tonight as a senior.
So Johnson's got 3 receivers to his right. He looks over the middle, and a high throw. Target was Hassan, but he's unable to find him over the middle. Put a little too much on that ball. That's another turnover for the Cougars. They've gone without more than just 1 or 2 completions here in this game.
So far, Johnson is 2 for 5 in this game with only 20 yards. Not what he was doing last year when he won a championship with Los Angeles. Looking to make an adjustment here in the first quarter.
So a punt now coming from Crenshaw, deep punt. Gets out just across the 50 to the 47. And another good starting position for Narbonne.
In between the 45 and 50. Ball's marked at the 48. 1st and 10. Gaucho.
So Chapman hasn't done too much throwing the ball. He's got that 1 touchdown to Steve Jenkins. But other than that, really, they've only had just a couple big plays on that first drive that got them into the end zone. So Chapman's got 2 to his left, 2 to his right. Hands it off up the middle. And getting a break, gets out, picking up about 6 yards. Looks like Corey Jackson for the Gauchos.
Tackled by both Patrick Willis Jr. and
So Jamar Jefferson, their running back that they've used for their first 2 drives, not in to start their 3rd. It looks like he's back in now. And whistles come in after the snap. They're going to call encroachment.
Dead ball encroachment penalty against Narbonne. They'll be sent back 5 yards.
Well, it can't be encroachment against the offense. But that's what the referee called, so either way, Narbonne loses 5, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Jack, like you said, false start and offside's pretty much the only thing for offense. Encroachment, yeah, doesn't happen.
So a single Narbonne receiver at the bottom of your screen, that's Cody Coleman. Trips to the right. Chapman out of the shotgun. He's going to fake the hand on it and fire to the right hash, right near the 1st down marker. It looked like Julian Woodard.
Julian Woodard from Jalen Chapman. On the tackle for Crenshaw, number 18, Joseph Williams.
And Woodard just doesn't quite pick up enough there. He gets about 9 yards or 8 yards. And on 3rd and 2, Chapman gets ready here. So he tries the hard count, looks over to the sideline for the play. Jefferson in the backfield, 2 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. They're going to run it up the middle. Jefferson makes a cut and spins, keeps his legs moving, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. So Jefferson with a tough run picks up 4. It's one of the first downs of this game.
Good job there by Chapman, reading the defense, giving the ball to his running back for the 1st down. And Narbonne will continue their drive.
So not too many big plays early on for Narbonne in their 3rd drive. Here's a handoff, or a fake handoff to the right now. Goes Chapman, and he didn't see the Cougar over there. And he's hit hard.
Mark Martin Jr. with a sack for Crenshaw.
And they're going to get the sack on Chapman. So Chapman looked like he was aware of the guys in front of him, but he didn't see the lone Crenshaw player off to his right. And it'll be 2nd and pretty long, 2nd and about 16 now. They're going to hand it off up the middle this time. Jefferson gets tripped up, and he'll get right back near the original line of scrimmage. He's got 33 in this game. He's been pretty good running the ball. So trips to the left, a lone receiver at the top of your screen to the right of Chapman. Takes the snap, looks left. Fires over the left hash, and it's dropped. That was a high throw. Really tried to squeeze it in there to Cody Coleman.
Chapman, intended for Cody Coleman.
That was a dangerous pass there by Chapman, as there were 4 or 5 Cougars in the area. Could have almost resulted in an interception.
He tried to squeeze it in there.
13 for Narbonne.
Really tried to squeeze it in there. Got tipped up. Chapman now. Looks like he might punt it again. High punt. And nobody's going to catch it. For Crenshaw, it's going to be brought down at the 18. So not good field position in any of the drives for Crenshaw. Their best was on a 31-yard kickoff return for Hassan. We'll see if Hassan can find a few more holes here and open up the field for Johnson to throw the ball. So Johnson's got 2 receivers to his left and right. He's got Hassan in the backfield. Looked like he was going to try to do a play action there, but instead he throws a screen off to the right, and the helmet is knocked off of James Day. So Day gets rocked on the screen.
Number 2, Mark Gibson.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
Scary moment there for Day, as his helmet was knocked off, but he was still up and could have gotten tackled and really injured by a Gaucho.
No gain. It's 2nd and 10 from the 18 for the Cougars.
So the Narbonne defense has been right on top of the Cougars so far in this game. Williams now lining up at the bottom of your screen against Narbonne's DeMontel Peoples. So this time, going out to the right.
Pass complete from Isaiah Johnson, leftward to
Johnson got that pass off to Greenfield. Greenfield only a sophomore. One of the better players for Crenshaw. But a flag came in there on the offense. Call it a chop block on Crenshaw, so they're going to move him back. So it's 7-0 Gauchos over Crenshaw. Just under 2 minutes once this ball gets snapped in the first quarter. Crenshaw on their 4th drive, trying to get something more than a punt. So Johnson in the offense all the way back around the 10. Trips to his right. He's going to look right. He's got a screen, and he finds him. Looked like Mark Martin for the Cougars. He gets out past the original line of scrimmage. Picks up a big chunk there.
It's the first time the Cougars have had a nice play for a long gain. On 2nd and 18, gain of 15 yards, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Now with 3rd and 2 at their 26 after a 16-yard gain.
Johnson in the shotgun, low snap. He's able to pick it up, and he throws it towards the sideline. Looks like it may have been pass interference, and they're going to call it. So a broken play. Isaiah Johnson stayed away from would-be tacklers, and he tries to throw it to Hassan. Hassan looked like he was going to try to make a play on the ball, but flags flew, and it looks like they're going to call pass interference. In coverage for Narbonne, that was DeMontel Peoples.
Against Narbonne. 15 yards.
So a big break, one of the few Crenshaw has gotten so far in this game, and Hassan has been active in most of those.
Yeah, the start of that broken play was a bad snap. That's about the 3rd one of the game. Crenshaw center needs to get whatever he needs to get under control. Straighten stuff out.
First and 10, Crenshaw from their 41.
So Crenshaw sends Williams to the top of your screen there at the 41. Under center, handoff up the middle to Martin. He's going to get brought down after maybe a pickup of 1 or 2. Not much there. Against a strong front that features, of course, Raymond Scott for Narbonne.
Tackled by both Darian Butler and Matt Manuleleua. Gain of 1 to the 42.
Johnson now back in the shotgun. He's got 2 backs around him. He's going to look to his left. Steps up in the pocket. Looking down the field, and almost a great catch. That's a second drop by James Day right around the 20. So Day's got 2 drops on big plays. That was a tough throw, though, to haul in.
Tough throw, but a great throw there by Isaiah Johnson. On the run to about 30 yards. On a dot, almost caught by James Day.
Day's been active, going deep for the Cougars, and there is a flag on the field. Looks like it's against Crenshaw. And they're going to call offensive pass interference against Day. So when Day was jostling for position to try to make a play on that ball, they're going to call a pass interference. And that'll push Crenshaw all the way back and negates the defensive pass interference. And Johnson's going to have to make some big plays here. The first down marker's all the way across the 50 at the 49. So he rolls to his left. Looks like he's going to try to keep it himself, and he just steps out of bounds. So 3rd and long it'll be now. From the 38, got to get across the 50 to the 49. So we're just under 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Narbonne up 7-0 on their touchdown through the air to Steve Jenkins. It was a 27-yarder from Chapman on their first drive early on in the quarter. And Crenshaw's trying to answer back here late.
These Narbonne corners and safeties have played really well so far. Really not giving Isaiah Johnson anywhere to throw it. Only 4 completions so far on 7 attempts.
Out of the shotgun, Johnson. He's got time until the pocket collapses. He gets it out. But he got hit pretty hard there. There was a pocket for maybe 3 seconds until it just collapsed right on top of him. So he gets the ball out, avoids the sack, and they'll punt now. For the fifth time in this game. So punt coming now from Crenshaw. And there's a flag. And false start on Crenshaw, another penalty for the Cougars. They had 2 penalties early on, and they keep piling up. Unable to capitalize on Narbonne's penalties.
It's now 4th and 24 for the Cougars.
So the Cougars to punt it. Try to get it back out across the 50. They've had to do that a couple times already in this game. This time a high punt doesn't quite get as many yards. And it's caught by Taylor. Narbonne's going to have the ball across the 50 at about the 48. They'll run one play before we get this into the second quarter. Narbonne up 7-0. And Garrett, we're about to head out of the first quarter after one more play. What have your thoughts been about the inability of either team to really make big plays?
Well, Crenshaw's been shut down by this Narbonne defense so far. Not really getting any yards. Not even getting past the 50-yard line. And let's see if Crenshaw can make some adjustments here in the second quarter. Maybe put a touchdown on the board.
Hard count doesn't work for Chapman. He's got trips to his left. Fires it out. Quick on the screen to Woodard. And Woodard gets brought down after about 5. So Woodard picks up 5. And that'll end the first quarter. The Gauchos up 7-0 over the Cougars. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to ECRLive, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Open Division Championship Football. And Jefferson stays on his feet. He's going to get all the way out to the 20. So Jamar Jefferson, there's a flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if this run stands, but if it does, it was a 30-yard run for Jefferson. So we'll see if they pick up that flag, but it looks like they're bringing it all the way back.
There's a flag on the field.
And it looks like there'll be a hold on Narbonne. See what the call is.
Penalty levied against Narbonne has sent the Gauchos back to the Crenshaw 49 for second and
So Chapman
11.
in the shotgun, trips to the right, a lone receiver to his left. Chapman looks right instead. He steps up in the pocket. He's got room. He's going to shed one tackle and get tripped up, but he gets all the way from the 48 to the 32.
That play shows what Chapman, he can do everything. He can throw, he can run, great breakaway speed, not finding any receivers, finding the hole by his offensive line, and a great pickup for a first down.
So 21 yards rushing on 2 rushes for Chapman early on. He's keeping his team with the lead, trying to tack a few more points on the board. So they're at the 32. Jefferson in the backfield. Chapman hands it off to Jefferson up the middle. He's got room. One man to beat. Gets down the left sideline. Touchdown, Gauchos. A 32-yard rushing touchdown for Jamar Jefferson. But there are flags. So Jefferson has been active for the Gauchos. Him and Chapman running around this Cougars team.
Looks like some excessive celebration there on the other sideline by the Gauchos. Penalty thrown after the play is already over.
There's a player down in the middle of the field on the Cougar side. We're going to take a short break. When play comes back, just about to get under 11 minutes. We'll be back. This is ECRLive, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Championship Football. We're back. Narbonne looking to add another point. PAT is up and good, so it's 13-0 Gauchos. Or excuse me, 14-0 Gauchos. They've got the upper hand early on over Crenshaw, and Crenshaw has just allowed a few big plays, few rushes really by Narbonne, not too much through the air, but pretty good rushing attack for Narbonne.
Yeah, Jack, like you say, good rushing attack by Narbonne. 65 yards by Jamar Jefferson, just starting here in the second quarter, so he's looking for a big game here in the city championship.
Hassan and Day back to receive for Crenshaw. High kick only gets to about the 27. And Hassan's going to try to get all the way to the right sideline, but ends up only picking up 1 or 2 yards, even though ran all the way across the field.
Yeah, like you said, Lassen trying to find a hole. Couldn't find it. The Gunners by the Gauchos, too fast for Lassen. Couldn't get her on the outside.
So Johnson back out, trying to lead the Cougar offense across the 50. They've had a hard time doing that so far in this game, but I think you credit that mainly to a tough Narbonne defense. So Johnson out of the shotgun, 2 to his right, 1 to his left, hands it off up the middle to Hassan. Hassan makes a couple moves, maybe picks up 3. We're only going to give him 2. But not too much going on the ground for Hassan. He's got some speed. We've seen it on these kick returns, but unable to utilize it, rushing the ball early on for Crenshaw. So lone receivers, 1 to the right and left. They're going to throw a second one out in the slot to the left of Johnson. Looks left. Steps up a little in the pocket, and he had a screen or a little outlet there to Hassan, but kind of overthrew it, Garrett, and got to wonder if Johnson's having a little trouble early on, maybe some nerves.
Yeah, that's what it looks like out there. They had a wide open Hassan there, just completely missed the target. Hassan would have had a big gain, maybe even a first down, maybe even some more. Johnson now 4 for 9 for a total of 35 yards here in this game.
So 3rd and 9 now for Johnson. He's got 2 to his right this time. Looks over the middle, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to take it himself. He dives to try to get to the first down, but he dove a little too early there, Garrett. It looked like he had room to get to the 40, and instead he dives down at the 39.
Almost looked like he was trying to make a cut, trying to get the linebacker out of position, but tripped on his own feet, and now it's going to be 4th and 3. And let's see what Crenshaw does if they're going to go for it down 14-0 here in the second quarter.
The Cougars now attain 4th and 3.
So we'll see Crenshaw looking like they're going to try to go for it here. Haven't had much offense yet. And that scramble by Johnson is what they're going to try to capitalize on. So Johnson takes the snap, looks to his right. They're going to throw a screen to Hassan. He's going to pick up the first down. He is rocked, but he somehow stays on his feet and gets all the way out to the 45. And Garrett, that was a big hit laid out on him. He kind of shrugged it off and picked up an extra 4 or 5 yards.
It was a big hit, but didn't do much for Narbonne. He hit with his shoulder and his helmet. That's not how you want to wrap up a player, especially on 4th and 3. And that may have cost Narbonne the turnover on downs, but now Crenshaw has one of their few first downs of the game.
So Crenshaw's offense starting to move a little more. Johnson rolls to his left, fires high. He's trying to find James Day, but he's not been able to connect with Day. He's thrown it to him a few times down the field, and Day's mostly been open, but they just haven't been able to connect yet.
Johnson not really connect with anybody so far. There's been a lot of on-the-run throws. The offensive line not giving him much time. I feel like if he could set his feet a few times, he'll have some nice completions.
Right, a lot of pressure coming from the Narbonne front, keeping Johnson from staying in the pocket. 9:05 left in the second quarter. Left in the first half. Crenshaw down 14 to the Gauchos. Trying to score some points here. Johnson makes a cut, escapes the pocket. He's going to get it out to his receiver as Dennis Patrick picking up yards. Gets all the way to the 35, but a flag. See if it's on the tackle. But a nice throw to Patrick there.
Looks like they're going to call holding on number 6 for Crenshaw. James Day. Looks like maybe even a holding call.
We'll see. They're going to call pass interference against Crenshaw. That's the second time that Crenshaw's had offensive pass interference called against them so far in this game. And Johnson's been making some good throws, but his receivers haven't gotten too much going.
Like you said, the second pass interference on Crenshaw. First one really didn't do much, but this one is going to hurt them a lot. It's going to put them back way behind the 30-yard line. It's going to be second and a long ways. And Crenshaw had the first down, but the pass interference on James Day will set him back.
So second and 25. Trips to the left. Williams alone to the right. So Johnson steps up in the pocket again. He's going to run again. He makes a cut. Looked like he may have gotten tripped up there on his own 2 feet. But another scramble for Johnson. He really, besides screens and running himself up the middle, there hasn't been much going for Crenshaw.
Really not much at all. Trying to throw it deep a couple times, been incomplete every single time. Johnson really only surviving here on screens and quarterback scrambles.
See if Johnson connect with Williams or Day down the field. So Johnson out of the shotgun. He's got 3 to his left. And there's quick pressure. He's avoiding a sack. And he's going to get out of the pocket and fire a completion to Hassan. So somehow a gain of a yard there for Crenshaw. Hassan picks up a yard. But Johnson does a great job there. There was a lot of pressure from Narbonne.
Yeah, Narbonne brought the house on that play. Isaiah Johnson really getting out of the pocket, breaking a few tackles, finding the open receiver, even though it's only a few yards. Now it's going to be 4th and 10.
So Crenshaw,
To be 44, where it's now 4th and 10.
see if they punt it away here. They're going to call a timeout now, so as they take their first timeout, we'll take one as well. This has been ECRLive, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Open Division Championship Football. And we're back. Crenshaw getting ready to punt. 7:17 left in the first half. Punt gets out to the 25. Taylor's got some room to running off to the right. He's going to get brought down from behind as he crosses the 50 there. That was Patrick Willis Jr. bringing him down.
That's the first punt Taylor's returned. All the other ones he's called for a fair catch, and you could see his speed there right on the outside and giving the Gauchos great field position, setting them up on Crenshaw's 45-yard line, looking to make this a 3-score game.
So Chapman and the offense looking to the sideline. He's got Jefferson behind him. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Chapman looks for Jefferson. Doesn't look like Jefferson went to the right side. He falls down after a gain of 2. So Jefferson has been making a lot of cuts in the backfield. He's had a couple big runs, but overall, not really dominating the Cougars. He's found some big holes. He's got a big offensive line helping him out. We'll see if Chapman can find a receiver here. Here's another run up the middle of Jefferson. He'll pick up 2 more. But Crenshaw doing a good job most of the time of stopping the run.
Jefferson carrying the rock for Narbonne. Those foremost tacklers at the end of the run for Crenshaw were number 77, Sabri White, and number 5, Mark Martin Jr. 5-yard gain, it's 3rd and 2.
And it looks like penalty going to be on the offense here. They're going to call a false start on the offense. Looked like the offensive line jumped up a little too early there. Narbonne penalized again. So just under 6 minutes left now in the first half. Narbonne up 14-0, trying to tack on a few more, and what will probably be one of their last few drives in the half. So Chapman trying the hard count again. He's got trips to his left. Lone receiver in Noah Jackson to his right. Looks over the middle, finds Jefferson on the screen, and Jefferson drops it. Jefferson had a few yards there, but it looked like he heard some footsteps behind him, and he drops that one.
Jefferson had no one near him in front of him. Could have easily gotten a first down, maybe even more. But a drop pass will make it 4th and 7 for Narbonne. Let's see what they do here with short field.
So Narbonne on 4th and 7. They've got what feels like a pretty strong 14-0 lead here. Only 2 possessions, but not really anything going on in the Crenshaw offense. So Chapman looks off to his right, he finds his receiver, and picking up the first down, it's Steve Jenkins. So Jenkins has been his top target so far in this game. He has that 27-yard touchdown early on, and Jenkins picks up 12 there.
Crucial pickup there by Jenkins on 4th and 7. Gets Narbonne, keeps their drive going against Crenshaw.
Jefferson, a sweep to the left. He finds a hole, and he goes through 2 tackles, breaks 1, and gets brought down at the 15. So Jefferson, all the way, picks up 17 there.
Great speed there by Jefferson, just absolutely broke through the offensive line. Got all the way down inside the red zone, down to the 14 for Narbonne.
First time Narbonne's offense has been in the red zone. Both their touchdowns so far in this game have come from outside of it. And there's going to be another timeout called by Crenshaw. 5:31 left in the first half. Narbonne within striking distance, looking to add to a 14-0 lead. Narbonne coming back onto the field now. Chapman in the offense looking to strike Jefferson. Big 17-yard run to put them inside the red zone. Jefferson in the backfield. Chapman's got trips to his right. And he hands it off to Jefferson, and Jefferson bounces off one tackle, and he's going to get all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Jamar Jefferson. So a 14-yard run there for Jefferson and Garrett. Pretty good drive there for Narbonne.
Jefferson made that last run look easy, just bounced off a tackle and jogged into the end zone for his second score of the game. And now Narbonne will try for the PAT to put them up 21-0 here in the second quarter.
Narbonne setting up for the PAT, but flags fly. They're going to call a false start on the offense there. They're going to have to move back a few yards to kick this one.
We assessed on this conversion attempt. Now Edgar Ramos will be kicking from 5 yards further back at the 15.
So Narbonne getting ready to kick. Edgar Ramos, his third PAT of the game, goes straight through.
Ramos from further away on target through the uprights.
So the Gauchos have taken a 21-0 commanding lead. 5:26 left in the first half. Crenshaw's going to get a shot at picking up a few points. And Garrett, we've seen the offense for Crenshaw have a tough time rushing the ball. But what does Johnson have to do? He's been scrambling for yards, but what can he, Hassan, and the rest of the offense do to pick up some points?
He needs to have trust in himself, just firing the ball downfield, trying to get his best receiver, Rayshon Williams, open. Last game, they combined for a total of 4 touchdowns to each other. And so far, they've had nothing here against Narbonne.
Some good coverage from Narbonne, keeping the Cougars off the scoreboard. Ramos gets ready to kick off now. Ramos, deep kick, gets out to the 3. Hassan makes a move. Or excuse me, no, that's Day. So Day gets out to the 18. Pretty good kickoff there from Ramos. And the Cougar offense coming back out now.
One thing I've noticed that Crenshaw really hasn't had good field position on any of their drives. Haven't been past the 30, and most of the times have been behind their own 20-yard line. So the Narbonne kicking team setting up their defense with good field position.
So Crenshaw's now 2 receivers to the left and right of Johnson. Send him in motion. And a quick throw out from Johnson finds Day for the first time. And Day picks up 3 or 4 there to get out to the 24. So that's the first time Johnson's hit Day. Second time, excuse me.
It's James Day Jr.
Good little pass there by Johnson to Day. That's all really Crenshaw needs to do here. Quick gain of 5 yards. Just they can do that march down field. They'll score a touchdown here and get on the board before they go into halftime.
Johnson out of the shotgun. He's got trips to his right, looks to his right. Makes a cut, and he's going to have to try to scramble again. And he airmails it. Looked like it might have been able to have been picked off by one of those Narbonne backs there. They had a few guys all on Williams, but none of them saw the ball coming.
Not the smartest decision there by Johnson. He had 3 Gauchos in one area to 1 Cougar. Just kind of threw it up there. Luckily, it was not intercepted by the safety, number 6, Logan Taylor.
Just about 5 minutes left in the first half. Crenshaw trying to squeeze in some more plays here to get some points. Quick pressure from Narbonne, and Johnson just floats. Another pass incomplete, so nothing really going on for Williams and Johnson.
Narbonne brought 7 players on that play, all at Johnson. He got no protection at all there. Just lofted it up. Nobody ended up catching it. And now it'll be 4th down again for Crenshaw.
We'll see if they can get this punt out past the 40, punting from about the 15. Is the kick a quick kick, gets out across the 50. Day takes it up the middle. He spun around and he gets it to the 45. So another good return, or excuse me, the 35. Another pretty good return from Day. He's had a few on punts and kick returns.
Like you said, another good return by Day. Sets up really good field position here for the Gauchos at the Crenshaw 36-yard line. And looking to get another score here, go up 28-0 on Crenshaw here in the second quarter.
So Chapman in the offense back out. Jefferson in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left and right. And a play action there. Quick throw from Chapman. And not going down is Noah Jackson. He picks up a good chunk of yards there, and he's going to get the first down.
You said not going down Noah Jackson. He carried a Cougar for a solid 5 or 6 yards, picked up first down, now at the 24-yard line.
So a nice catch from Jackson there, and a handoff to Jefferson on the right. Jefferson's got some room, makes one move, makes another, and he's going to break a tackle, and he gets all the way down to about the 4-yard line. So Jefferson, a 20-yard run, and he's really heated up later in this game.
Crenshaw really has had no answer for Jamar Johnson here in the first half. He had Jamar Jefferson, pardon me. In the first half, he's had almost 100 yards against the Cougars.
Jefferson tries to sneak into the end zone there, had a hole on the left, but he's brought down short of the goal line.
Just 1 yard.
Narbonne bringing in their goal line set. A few extra tight ends here, taking out some receivers here at the 3-yard line. Looking for a power rush.
So here comes a big run. And falling into the end zone, the Gauchos pick up 6 more. So Narbonne had kind of a shaky start after their early touchdown. Unable to get back in the end zone, but now on 3 straight drives, they've picked up 3 straight touchdowns, all with the running game.
Like you said, all with the running game. This offensive line for Narbonne is massive and just dominating the Cougars. And Crenshaw's had no answer for him.
Flags coming in for this point after. 3:49 left in the first half. Narbonne up 27-0 now. There's a false start against the Gauchos. They're going to look to try to make it 28-0 here. So Ramos to kick it again. Nearly blocked, but he'll get it up and through again. So 28-0. The Gauchos take a commanding 4-possession lead. And Crenshaw's going to get another shot. They've got just under 4 minutes to run their offense here. We're going to take a quick break. This has been ECRLIve, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Championship Football. So Ramos, a squib kick. Gets to the 20. Hassan takes his time, zooms forward, gets out past the 30. And the Crenshaw offense coming back out onto the field. Narbonne hasn't had any trouble containing them. But you got to remember, Crenshaw has been blowing out opponents this season, putting up 40 and 50 points in a lot of their wins. They have two 54-0 shutout wins. So we'll see if Crenshaw can finally get the offense going under time constraints here.
This is the first time Crenshaw's had an actual semi-decent starting field position, starting at their own 31-yard line. Most of the time they've been behind their own 20.
Johnson forced to step up in the pocket again. He picks up the first down. He's got some speed, and he gets all the way across the 50. So Isaiah Johnson from the 31 all the way to the 46.
Really good run there by Johnson. Seeing that nobody was open, had time in the pocket, took advantage of that, and got all the way down into Gaucho territory.
So an interesting hold there on the defense. Don't see that too often. And Crenshaw, for the first time in this game, their offense is across the 50. So looking to capitalize on a bad penalty there by the Gauchos. Cougars have just a little over 3.5 minutes left in the half.
First and 10, Crenshaw at the Narbonne 26, 36-yard line.
Williams at the top of your screen, Day, and another receiver down at the bottom. Johnson to the left. He finds his receiver, and a couple good moves there. That was Dennis Patrick Jr., the senior. And he picks up a good chunk there. Gets the first down and more.
Great job there by Johnson. Took his time, set his feet, made a great throw to number 21, Dennis Patrick. And now the Cougars are threatening inside the red zone.
So just under 3 minutes left after the snap. Some big throws by Johnson, or one big throw and a big run. And see if Narbonne can stop him in the red zone. Johnson in the shotgun. He's got two receivers to his left, Williams to his right. Looks left. Fires a screen out to Hassan. Hassan's got room, and Hassan trots into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. So Crenshaw gets on the board just at the end of the half here. Hassan on the screen there from Johnson, and it's 28-6.
Great play there. Johnson set his feet, made a perfect throw to Solomon Hassan. Great block on the outside by Dennis Patrick, sealing the touchdown. Hassan just jogged in for an easy score, and Crenshaw's on the board here in the first half.
So Crenshaw helped out by a couple of holding penalties on the Narbonne defense. And the kick coming now from Crenshaw, low kick, and it's good. 28-7 is our score. We're going to take a short break as Crenshaw gets ready to kick. This has been ECRLIve. So kick coming from Crenshaw. Gets off to the right to about the 20. And some good speed from the Gauchos is Cody Coleman. And he's going to get all the way across the 50. So Cody Coleman goes from the 20, 32 yards across the 50. And that's a big kickoff return negating some of that Crenshaw momentum. The defense gonna have to step up here. There is a flag, but it's on Narbonne. They're gonna move the ball back. Or no. Penalties on both sides. Unsportsmanlike against Narbonne. And that'll move them back all the way to the 40. So a big kickoff return by Coleman still picks up a good chunk of yardage. And Chapman and the offense will start from the 40. .231 left in the half. Chapman looks to his right, fires a high pass, and he had Noah Jackson open. He's had Jackson in this game for a big pass, but he underthrew that one and he kicked it out a little bit past the sideline there.
Chapman just kind of threw that up. Didn't even really look if there was anybody covering him. He could have been in triple coverage. Chapman still would have thrown that ball. Ended up being way out of bounds, not even close to being catchable.
So trips to the right now, a lone receiver at the top of your screen. And it looked like a false start there in encroachment. We'll see what they call, and they'll call a false start on the Gauchos. They've had a couple of those.
And infraction will cost them another 5 yards. Back to the 34. Narbonne now picks up 2nd and 15.
Chapman's got trips to his right. Talking to Jefferson in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff to Jefferson, a screen out to the right, and there's room to run. Looks like Narbonne's going to pick up a touchdown.
Touchdown, Gaucho!
And that's number 9, Jawan Tucker. So Chapman, a quick pass, and 66 yards. Chapman.
Looks like they're calling it back.
In the apparent sense.
So a good quick throw out there from Chapman. Looked like there's going to be a penalty probably on one of those blocks that set up the big run back for Tucker.
Penalty on the play. Holding.
And they're going to call a hold
Nullifies the
on
touchdown.
Narbonne.
Holding penalty.
And they're going to push this all the way back to the 40.
A holding call really ruined a great play there by Narbonne by second and 10 from the 39.
So a throw out to Jefferson. He tries to shed the first tackler, but a good job by Crenshaw. That was Patrick Willis Jr. on the stop for the Cougars. Chapman with the hard count, trips to his left, looks to his left, a big throw. He's got his receiver, and that'll be a touchdown for the Gauchos. Sliding into the end zone, Steve Jenkins, and they're going to call a flag on Jenkins for probably excessive celebration or unsportsmanlike there, but a great catch by Jenkins on the run there, perfectly in stride on the throw from Jalen Chapman.
Great pass there by Chapman. Hit him mid-stride. Didn't even slow down. And Steve Jenkins went all the way. 61 yards for a touchdown. Like you said, that penalty is unsportsmanlike conduct on Jenkins as he front flipped into the end zone for his celebration.
A Madden celebration there for Jenkins to get his second touchdown of the game. And Narbonne gets out to a bigger lead. They get that touchdown that Crenshaw scored right back, and it's 34-7. PAT coming from Ramos. Ramos getting ready to kick the PAT. 1:24 left in the half. So Crenshaw will get the ball back. Just a little bit of time. The PAT goes right through. So Ramos puts his team up 35-7. Steve Jenkins' his second touchdown of the game. That was a big one, a big throw from Chapman. That was almost a 50-yard throw there by Chapman, Garrett.
It was a great throw by Chapman. Perfect spiral right to Jenkins for his, like you said, second touchdown of the game. And Narbonne fans can get used to him because he's only a junior. He will be back next year for the Gauchos.
Ramos kicking from the 25. See if Hassan can get a big return on this. 1:24 left. That's just enough time for the offense. We'll see if the Cougars can build off of their last offensive possession when they scored their first touchdown of the game. They're down 4 scores right now, though. See if they can trim that lead down going into the half. So Ramos drives a kick out past the 25. A good cut there by Day. And he's going to get out back near the 40. So pretty good field position back-to-back drives for Crenshaw. And we'll see, Garrett, how much time do you think Johnson needs to get into the end zone?
I don't think he needs that much time. 117 should be perfect enough for Johnson to go just a little over 60 yards. Get some few down and out routes for a few yards. He could score easily here to make this game a little closer before going into the half.
So Johnson in the shotgun. He's flushed out of the pocket, but he's brought down. The Gauchos get the sack. And a quiet crowd here. For whatever reason, not too much excitement on the Narbonne sideline, but pretty good sack there by the Gauchos. They've had pressure on him all game, and Johnson unable to escape that time. And Crenshaw calls a timeout there. They've got just a little more than a minute left. They've got a long ways to go. They got to cross the 50. They're on their own 35 now. Or on Narbonne's 35. And we're back. Johnson and the shotgun trying to get just a few points here. He's got someone on his right, but he's trying to get out of the pocket. He fires the pass as he was getting brought down. A very athletic play there from Johnson. He was halfway down to the ground. And they're going to call, I think, intentional grounding.
Like you said, very athletic play by Johnson, but He was halfway down and threw it in the middle of nowhere. It's still inside the tackles. That'll definitely be intentional grounding against Johnson.
So they will call the intentional grounding on Crenshaw. 52 seconds left in the half, and it doesn't look like they've got much of a chance of getting into the end zone. We'll see here on 3rd and 24. Johnson going to try to find Day or Williams. We'll see who he gets. Here's a snap, a screen to Hassan. He makes the first man miss, and he's got a little room. Gets out there past the 30 all the way out to the 34, and Hassan's been a pretty shifty runner.
Great move there by Hassan, creating space. He was 5 yards back behind the 20-yard line, and he made room, got all the way up past the 30, actually out to the 35-yard line. And it will be now 4th down for Crenshaw.
To the 35-yard line.
So Crenshaw looks like they're in a punt here. 45 seconds left. And the punt gets all the way out to the 35. So it looks like a run back coming for Narbonne. A flag comes in. And Crenshaw quickly got in on the tackle there on the Gauchos' Jamari Boone.
My guess is this will be a holding or a block in the back here on Gauchos on this punt return.
And an illegal block in the back coming on the return against Narbonne. There wasn't much going there on the return for Boone, but penalty will bring them back even further. So 37 seconds left for the Gauchos. We'll see if they try to make any last shot at the end zone here going into the half, but pretty commanding 28-point lead for them right now. They may just be satisfied.
With Jalen Chapman, you can never really be sure, though, because he can throw this ball 50 yards downfield, catch a receiver in stride, and even put this game more out of reach.
So Chapman with the hard count. He's got 2 receivers to his left and right. Jefferson is in the backfield. See if he goes out to try to catch a pass. So rolling to his left, Chapman steps up in the pocket, and he fires out, finds his receiver. It's Jenkins, and Jenkins breaks a tackle. He's got room to run, and Jenkins to the 10, and he's going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. So Steve Jenkins and the Gauchos go all the way from the 26 across the 50, and a 74-yard touchdown. Jenkins' 3rd of the game.
Forget throwing the ball downfield. Throw it to your receiver short. Let him do all the work, breaking 4 tackles using a spin move to get out of a double tackle, and takes it 74 yards to the house.
So there are flags. And we'll see if they call this one back, but that was an incredible throw from Chapman, and even better was Jenkins, but they're going to call this one all the way back.
This is the 3rd time these refs have called back a big play by Narbonne, and this crowd is letting these refs hear it.
So 21 seconds left in the half. Jenkins got in the end zone there for Narbonne, but they're going to call it back. And that's a big blow to Narbonne, not so much for the score of this game right now. It looks like they're controlling it at this point in the game, but for Jenkins, that would have been his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Let's see if Narbonne tries something else here with 21 seconds. If you saw what they did with 29 seconds, went all the way down in one play.
And there's a big hit on the sideline there from Crenshaw. They're going to send the refs in there, but that was not Charlie Day, excuse me, James Day
First pass to Noah Jackson, reverse to DeMonte
for Crenshaw on a big hit there.
James Day Jr.
So 15 seconds left.
Second and 12.
See if Chapman takes another shot to try to get his man Jenkins. Out of the shotgun, Chapman. Fakes the handoff to Jefferson. And he's going to take it himself and get out of bounds. Pick up only one or two. Kind of an interesting call for a designed run there. But Chapman's able to avoid the pressure. 10 seconds left now. In the half. Crenshaw trailing 28. Just trying to keep Chapman and the Gauchos out of the end zone.
Looks like 3rd and 9 from the 27.
So it looks like it'll be one of the last couple plays. Jefferson runs it up the middle. If he gets a block here, he's got some room. And with just 3 seconds off the clock, looks like there's a clock miscue there, but Jefferson picks up the first down. Gets all the way from the 27 out to the 40.
Good run there by the Gauchos, Jamar Jefferson.
Football players have plenty, but time is scarce for the second quarter and first half. 1st and 10, Gauchos from the 41.
Chapman fires over the middle. And he just can't quite find his receiver. He was looking for Juwan Tucker, but there was double coverage there from a safety coming from Crenshaw. 2 seconds left. They'll take one more shot at the end zone here, Garrett.
That was one of those all-or-nothing plays there, thrown deep by Jalen Chapman looking for Juwan Tucker, like he said. But double coverage by Crenshaw and a little bit overthrow will make the pass incomplete.
Run to Jefferson. He's going to run to the left. He gets a block, and if he doesn't get tracked down from behind, would have picked up some big yards. He does. He picks up 15 there on the run, but we're going to go into the half now, 35-7. Narbonne on top of the Crenshaw Cougars. So, Garrett, your final thoughts heading into the half. Pretty big lead for Narbonne, but Crenshaw showing a few signs of life to end the half.
Crenshaw also showed some signs of life early. Narbonne really didn't have anything good to start off with. They only scored on their first drive and then went 3 punts in a row. So if Crenshaw can get their defense back to that mentality, I think they may have a shot here in the second half.
So Crenshaw, Narbonne, the first ever CIF LA City Section Open Division Championship football game. It's going into halftime. We'll leave the halftime show on for you, but we're going to take a break, as the players do as well. Don't go anywhere. This has been ECRLIve, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Championship football. And we're back. Ramos kicking off for the Cougars. A short kick out to the 35. Not much of a return for Narbonne. But the third quarter is underway. So Narbonne scored on their last couple drives. Crenshaw scored on their second to last drive. Narbonne nearly made it 42-7 game, but their score got called back. So Narbonne starting with the ball, starting at the 36, a short kick from Ramos of the Cougars. Chapman's got trips to his right, two receivers to his left, so 5 wide, nobody in the backfield. Yeah. He's going to call Jefferson in motion, same play they ran to start the game, or start their offense at least. So Jefferson picks up 3. And Narbonne's offense rolling right away. Chapman with the hard count. This guy only 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. And a screen off to his left. Overthrew Jenkins there. He was trying to find him. Couldn't quite get it there.
A little bit of a late hit there on Jalen Chapman. Kind of went down really hard. Looked for a penalty. Was not given to him by the white hat.
So Narbonne gets set now. They're at about the 39, just trying to get this first down. Chapman looks to his right and throws behind his receiver. That was Noah Jackson. He's tried to find him a few times in this game, and that one falls incomplete. So on 4th down, Chapman looks like he's going to go for it. He's got the ball right around the 45.
Yeah, like you said, he's going to go for it. A little bit risky here in Crenshaw territory.
So Chapman punts this one high. It's going to get called off. Narbonne will stop it at the 33. So Narbonne goes 3 and out to start the second half, and we'll see if Crenshaw can capitalize, put up a few points. They're going to call a hold against the Cougars, so they're going to get even worse field position to start the half.
Measured 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
All the way back to the 18.
Crenshaw will maintain first and 10.
Excuse me, the 23.
Back at their 23-yard line now.
Crenshaw really not helping themselves out here. Penalties, putting them back even farther than they should be. Really showing no sign of trying to get back in this game.
So Johnson out of the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Throws to Day on his left. And Day spun out of bounds after a pick of about 4.
Isaiah Johnson Jr. Solo tackle for Narbonne by number 18, Jamare Boone. Cougars gained 4 yards to the 27 to attain 2nd and 6.
Small passes would be really good here for Crenshaw if they want to cut this deficit. A good gain of 4 yards there can start off a long drive.
Johnson out of the shotgun, hands it off up the middle. This time gets it to Sean Prégine for the Cougars. So not using Hassan. That was the main back that they used in the first half. And now on 3rd and 5, we'll see if Johnson can pick up a first down here.
Short gain of about 2 yards, maybe 3, to the 29-yard line, where it is now 3rd and 4 for Crenshaw.
Johnson looks to his right. Quick hit there from the Gauchos, and he throws that ball up, and it looks like it's picked off.
Pass downfield,
And that ball is picked off. That was number 5, DeMontel Peoples.
One of the few times Crenshaw has tried to throw the ball downfield, and this is the first time it's really hurt them, being picked off by Narbonne.
Big throw there from Johnson. Underthrew it a little bit. Couldn't quite get his receiver to get to the ball. And Narbonne gets the ball back. Chapman in the shotgun. Trips to his right. He's going to hand it off to Jefferson. But it looks like they're going to call a false start against Narbonne. So penalties on the offensive line. That has been one of the things that Narbonne could improve on.
5-yard penalty. Moves the ball back.
They've got a 28-point lead. Not too worried about that right now.
For Narbonne, going to repeat first down. It's 1st and 15. Gaucho.
So trips to the right, lone receiver at the top of your screen to the left. Chapman and Jefferson in the backfield. Chapman looks to his right, looks downfield, and he finds his receiver. A great catch by Jenkins. So Jenkins picks up 50. And a big throw there. Jenkins has been really the top receiver for Chapman throughout this game.
Yeah, he's been left wide open all the time. Number 10, nobody even near him. And Chapman has just been throwing darts to him all game long.
Chapman this time hands it off up the middle to Jefferson, who lowers his shoulder, picks up an extra 2 yards. So pick up 9.
And on the stop for Crenshaw were Mark Martin Jr., Patrick Willis Jr.,
And Jenkins and Jefferson coming off now. A couple substitutions for Narbonne. Chapman, quick screen out to the right, and getting all the way out past the 10 to the 9. It's Julian Lewis. Or, excuse me, Noah Jackson. So Jackson, another catch.
It's a first down for the Gaucho.
And Chapman picks up another. So Chapman in the shotgun. Handoff to the right. That's Jefferson, but he's going to get stopped in the backfield. Won't go down, but wrapped up by the Cougars' Daniel Griesiak.
Good job by the defensive line of the Cougars. Really sniffed that one out. Pushing Crenshaw, pushing Narbonne back a few yards.
Just under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Narbonne up 35-7. Inside the red zone, they're trying to punch it in now. Handoff to Jefferson. He's got room to run on the left. And he's going to try to stretch into the end zone. Looked like he came up just short. So 10-yard rush for Jefferson. He's dropped at the 1. So 3rd and goal from the 1. Jefferson going to try to punch it in here.
Once again, Narbonne bringing in their extra tight ends here for the goal line package on 3rd and goal here at the 1-yard line, expecting a power run.
So Chapman under center. He's going to try to push it in himself. Jumps over the line of scrimmage, but there's going to be a dead ball encroachment against, or they're going to call offsides against Crenshaw. They'll move the football a few inches. We'll see if Chapman tries the same thing.
Would not be surprised if he does.
Under 8 minutes now left in the third quarter. And it looked like Chapman lost the ball. Crenshaw comes out of the pile with it, but he was probably down when he picked it up. So it looked like a bad snap there. Chapman talking to his center. And a rare miscue for the Gauchos is going to get Crenshaw the ball back.
That's a huge miscue by the Gauchos. Crenshaw will get the ball back with the goal line stand. Now the momentum on the Cougars' side. Let's see if they can make a long drive down here and score.
Long way to go for the Cougars. So Johnson starts in the end zone. Pressure from Narbonne, and the throw just out of the reach of Day. No flag coming. One-on-one coverage there. And some pretty good coverage so far in this game by the Gauchos.
That last drive ended in an interception thrown by Isaiah Johnson as he threw it deep again here in the first play, trying to go for the home run ball.
Johnson out of the shotgun again, fires. This time he finds Williams. So only for the second time this game, Rashawn Williams makes a catch. He's gotten a couple big ones.
Narbonne has absolutely shut down Rashawn Williams. He's had his second catch of the game. This one is a big one, though. Gets Crenshaw down to the 19-yard line. Gets them out of their own end zone. And it could be the start of a good drive here by the Cougars.
Johnson trying to get this ball and get his team across the 50 out of the shotgun. Looking over the middle, he steps up in the pocket, but he's tracked down from behind. And a flag is thrown. Looks like there's going to be a penalty on Narbonne. So we'll see who the penalty is called on here. It looks like it'll be against Narbonne. And there's going to be a hold on one of the defensive backs for the Gauchos. So that'll move the ball up for Crenshaw. Just under 7.5 left in the third quarter. Crenshaw trying to push their way back into this game as they get 10 yards off the holding penalty.
First and 10 Cougars begins at the 31.
Momentum building here for Crenshaw. A long pass and now a penalty gets them on the other side of the 30. Trying to score here against the Gauchos.
Run up the middle. Goes nowhere. Coming out of the pile, it's Mark Martin Jr. Johnson coming back from the sideline with a play. He's got to get Williams more active. He's been throwing to James Day a lot. But if you can get Williams more active in this game, get him a few more catches, they may have a shot of putting at least a few more scores on the board. Johnson looks over the middle. He's flushed out of the pocket again. Throws low right on top of the first down marker. It's Dennis Patrick, one of his top targets in this game. And Patrick's going to get him the first down, so a good throw on the run there from Johnson.
Like you said, a good throw there on the run by Johnson, but he needs to realize that he doesn't have much time in his pocket. He hasn't had much time all game. He needs to get the ball out in under 3 seconds or as quick as he can. And I think Crenshaw will be more successful here in the second half.
So the Cougars now coming to the line. They're on the 40. Offense has been moving, helped by a couple of Narbonne penalties on this drive. So Johnson out of the shotgun, looks left, fires deep down the field, caught! A great catch by Dennis Patrick. And Dennis Patrick all the way out to the 26-yard line. A big play there from Johnson.
Great pitch and catch there by Johnson to Patrick, as Patrick has been the number one receiver today so far, over Rashawn Williams. So let's see how the Gauchos will adjust to that and see if they put more men on Patrick instead of Williams now.
So Johnson and the offense as close to the red zone as they've been in a while in this game. Johnson rolls to his right, throws to a wide open receiver. He had Williams with nobody around him, and he just floats it right over him. Don't think he saw him there, Garrett.
Either he didn't see him or it was just a terrible throw there by Johnson. Rashawn Williams was wide open, nobody within 10 yards of him. As that could have at least got him first down, even near the goal line. Could have brought them another score.
We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. After will be just under 6 minutes left in the third quarter after this snap. Gauchos up 4 scores. Crenshaw trying to cut that to 3. So 2 receivers to the left and right of Johnson. Martin in the backfield is going to block. Johnson steps up in the pocket. He's got room. Trying to get to that left sideline. He gets out past the 20. He's stopped at about the 16.
Isaiah Johnson runs out at about the 16-yard line.
Good vision there by quarterback Isaiah Johnson. Saw he had no targets open downfield. Pocket collapsed. Got a solid 10 yards first down. And it will be at the 16-yard line. Within the red zone. And now Crenshaw is threatening to score.
So the Cougars trying to move their offense now. They've got 2 receivers to the left and right again. Martin still in the backfield. Hassan moves out to the right. They're going to hand it off up the middle to Martin. He breaks a tackle, and he's just held up by Narbonne. That looked like Julian Lewis.
Julian Lewis caught him by the shoestrings. If he did not get him, Mark Martin would have been easily walked in for a touchdown. There was nobody even in front of him. Narbonne with a huge break there.
Flags flying in. Looks like it's going to be a false start on Crenshaw. So right when they started getting in good field position, penalties. Just under 5 minutes now remaining in the third quarter. Crenshaw looking to get to 14. Johnson out of the shotgun. Hassan in motion to the left. Johnson rolls right. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage. And Johnson avoiding the sack. He fumbles. And it's picked up pretty quickly by the Cougars. That was Trent Bryce in the center jumping on top of that one. We'll see if the flags are on the offense or defensive line.
Quarterback under pressure by Gauchos Rudy Amisone. Helped along by Travis Babae.
And that penalty goes against the offense. So another penalty is going to bring the Cougars back. And what looked like a promising drive is slowly getting degraded by penalties.
It's not the first time Crenshaw has shot themselves in the foot, as you would put it. Here, as now they are way back past the 41-yard line. And they need to get to the Narbonne 12. So it's going to be 2nd and 29.
It'll be 2nd and 35 for the Cougars.
Johnson, the Cougars, going to try to take a shot down the field. Johnson looks off to the right. He finds, looked like Hassan out there.
Pass complete from Isaiah Johnson up to Dennis Patrick Jr.
Oh, looks like he actually got it to Patrick. Moving the ball a little bit, but really nothing that Johnson can do except take a shot at the end zone here.
Yeah, with third and about a half a mile. You need something big here because you can't get a fourth down. And a turnover down on downs would really ruin this drive.
Trips to the left. Johnson looks to the right. Perfect throw, just a little too far. Williams looked like he had it.
Williams had his corner beat. Just once again, Isaiah Johnson off the mark with his throw. That's really been hurting Crenshaw here in this game. And now on 4th and a long 30. We're going to see what the Cougars are going to do here.
Crenshaw getting ready to throw now. Johnson steps up in the pocket, gets a screen out to Hassan. Hassan makes the first tackler miss. Second tackler is able to bring him down.
Logan Taylor with the finishing tackle.
That'll be a turnover on downs for Crenshaw. Not the greatest of play calls. Just look like a little slant route. Only got a few yards for Crenshaw as they needed 30. And now it'll be Narbonne ball. A great start to that drive, but penalties really hurt them there at the end. And they could not end up scoring.
So a handoff to Jefferson. Bounces out past the 30. He's got room if he gets a block. And he's dragged down hard by Sabri White of Crenshaw. Screen out to Jenkins. He gets out past the 50 to the 45. So a good catch from Jenkins.
Jenkins, who streaks his way forward for more yards into the Crenshaw 45 for a brand new Narbonne first down. It's 1st and 10 for the Gauchos at the Cougar 45.
Just under 3.5 now left in the third quarter. Handoff to Jefferson up the middle. He runs into the ref, and he's going to bounce off out to the 24, but Jefferson stopped there by the ref. It looked like he was going to run him over. Had a big hole.
Jefferson had a wide open lane, and the referee was just standing right there, ran right into him, bounced outside, got all the way down to the 24-yard line. And it's almost as if every single run by Jamar Jefferson is over 15 yards. That's what it seems like. This Narbonne O-line doing a great job tonight.
Chapman looks deep, and it looks like there's going to be a pass interference call, and there will be 3 flags fly in.
For number 9.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 flags all on the same play. As it's either going to be pass interference on Crenshaw or holding on Crenshaw. And we'll set the Gauchos up for a 1st and goal.
So the pass interference brings Narbonne and the offense all the way into the red zone. Chapman in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to his right. Looks like there might be a screen out there. Instead, he looks to a fade to the left, and it looks like he came down with the ball. They're going to call a touchdown. So a great catch there
Number 17, Jalen
by Jawan Tucker.
to number 9, Jawan Tucker.
And Tucker's had a few targets in this game, but there's a big touchdown.
That's the biggest one right there all night. This pretty much put this game out of hand. Just threw it up there like a lob. Hopefully Tucker to come out and catch it, and he did. Now Narbonne will lead 41-7 with the PAT coming up. PAT is good here, and it will now be 42-7 Narbonne over Crenshaw here at 2:41 in the third quarter.
Crenshaw to 35 points at a tally of 42-7.
Narbonne really did it all on that drive, passing it, throwing it, and Crenshaw had no answer.
Deep kick returned by Hassan out to the right, and he's tracked down. That was a quick gaucho. Looked like Aaron Maggie. Gauchos have been in on him, but he's been able to get out of the pocket and move, pick up a lot of yards on the ground.
Yeah, he has picked up a lot of yards on the ground. Pretty much been their best rushing attack all game. Actually, their best offensive attack all game, him rushing the ball on quarterback scrambles.
And this time, Johnson gets sacked, unable to avoid the pressure from the Gauchos. They've brought pretty steady pressure.
Crenshaw hasn't fixed much of their line all game. Still Isaiah Johnson getting almost no time in the pocket. Doesn't have any time to look downfield. Next thing he knows, he looks up and there's 4 Gauchos in on him.
Johnson drops back. Looked like he had time over the middle, but he's going to avoid some pressure. Floats one up. Falls out of bounds, but Johnson has just had not quite enough time to make some really settled plays here.
Yeah, once again pressured. Really had no time to look for anybody. Just kind of threw it up once again, but this ball was 20 yards out of bounds. Not even close to being caught.
Crenshaw is going to take a timeout. We're going to take a short break. You've been listening to Jack Dorfman and Garrett Finley on ECRLIve, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Championship Football. Johnson out of the shotgun, looks over the middle. Looked like he was going to take a shot deep. Instead, fires over the middle, and it's picked off. All the way down to the 20. Flags fly. And Logan Taylor, have a day. He's been a good returner, and he has a nice interception there.
Not really sure what Isaiah Johnson was doing there. Threw that ball into quadruple coverage by the Gauchos, right over the head of his receiver, intercepted by Logan Taylor.
So a face mask on that interception returned by Taylor. Minute 10 left in the third quarter. Chapman out of the shotgun, hands it off up the middle. And it's not Jefferson now coming into the game to play running back. It's Corey Jackson. So Corey Jackson's played a little bit in this game, but a big carry there for him. Picks up a big gain there.
Jackson showing his skills later in the game. Has pretty much been in the shadow of Jamar Jefferson all season. And now as a senior, gets to play in a championship game.
Jackson picks up a few more. Under 45 seconds now left in the third quarter. We'll get one more to go.
3-yard gain to the 19 of Crenshaw for Narbonne, 2nd and 7.
Screen off to the right, wrapped up is Jackson at about the 7.
Jackson, tackled by number 77, Sabri White. Once more, it's a Gaucho first down. First and goal as Narbonne revisits the 9-yard line for first and goal.
Chapman throws a fade to the back right pylon. Chapman ran out of room there trying to find Jackson.
Narbonne still pedal to the metal here. Late in the third quarter, up 35. Still throwing the ball. Kind of surprising.
Second and goal from 9 yards out coming up for Narbonne.
You'd think with a running game so explosive by Narbonne, they would just keep pounding the rock. With
Giving
their
Chapman some chances to throw here.
Yeah.
So two receivers to the left and right of Chapman. They're going to hand it up. No. Play action and a pretty good throw, but a great catch. It's number 13, Cody Coleman, making the catch. And Coleman's had a few big plays in this game for the Gauchos. Nice catch there.
Really good play action there by Chapman. Throws the corner, Dennis Patrick. A great slant route for an easy touchdown for Narbonne. It's now 48-7.
Ramos's PAT is up and good. Or no good, excuse me. Misses the PAT. So hooks it wide. Score will stay at 48-7. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to ECR Live, the broadcast home of CIF LA City Section Open Division Championship Football. Narbonne, low kick, picked up by Crenshaw. Joseph Williams, and he's just going to get shoved back behind the 20. So Crenshaw not catching too many breaks. They're down 48-7. We'll see if Johnson and the offense get a chance of putting up some points. And the fourth quarter comes to a close. Crenshaw has the ball. They're down 48-7. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to ECR Live. And we're coming back now. 12 minutes left in what's been a controlling game for Narbonne. They're up 41. Missed their last PAT, but really Crenshaw has had no chance of getting back into this game.
This Gaucho sideline, you can see it. They can taste their fourth championship in a row. Third coming against Crenshaw in the past 3 years.
Johnson digs out a low snap and takes it himself. Takes a big hit there. Almost picking up the first down. Johnson's got a lot of size and a lot of speed. Really showcased his ability to get out of the pocket and go in this game.
Gain of 9 yards by Isaiah Johnson. Services a 2nd and 1 for Crenshaw.
Isaiah Johnson's legs really the only thing that are giving the Cougars yards here. Hasn't been able to throw it downfield, and running backs have had no attack all game.
Johnson steps up in the pocket, avoids one Gaucho, gets it out there to Martin. Martin keeps his legs moving, gets out to the 49. So good throw there by Johnson. Again, chased out of the pocket. And what's been an uncomfortable night for Johnson, Martin's had a pretty good game really in the second half.
Like you said, good throw by Johnson. Escaped the pocket, noticed the two linebackers were crashing on him, found the open receiver, and it got a first down.
Johnson rolls this time to his left and throws it away. So Johnson's got a pretty good arm. He hasn't gotten too many chances to use it.
Penalty flags on the field.
And they throw flags.
Maybe an intentional grounding here on Johnson.
Intentional grounding on second and 29, Cougars at the 30.
They're going to run it now. And wrapped up and sent down hard.
Mark Martin Jr., the ball carrier.
Looked like Hawthorne on the tackle.
Number 30, Tim Williams.
I hate to say it, but that was one of the best runs Crenshaw's had all game. Little gain there of 8 yards by Mark Martin.
Also in the
The Crenshaw rushing game has really been just shut down, though, other than those quarterback scrambles. Designed runs have not been netting them many yards.
Yeah, like you said, design runs have been doing nothing except the quarterback scrambles when the Gauchos have brought the pressure in on the offensive line of the Cougars.
Bobbled snap by Johnson. Fires out to his right, and it's caught. Patrick with the catch, and a good route there by Patrick. Pick up a few yards. Johnson looks to his left. Instead, he going to take it himself, gets across the 50, and tripped up at the 45 as he slides out of bounds.
Logan Taylor on the hustle, quarterback keeper Isaiah Johnson.
So that'll be a turnover on downs. Narbonne's going to take over.
Stopped short of a first down. That's a
And we'll see if
turnover.
Chapman comes back out for the Gauchos. Running clock, we're under 7.5 minutes by the time this ball is snapped here.
Gauchos defense once again super strong.
Ball's on the
Another
44. First and 10, Narbonne.
Another turnover on downs for the Cougars.
So Chapman no longer in the game at quarterback. Quarterback is now Jalen Daniels. So Daniels, one of the backup quarterbacks, is in. And the big run coming from number 12,
Ball carrier number 12, Demaje Williams.
Demaje Williams.
Demaje Williams, Jack, running back for the Gauchos, is a sophomore. As you can see out there, very quick, very light on his feet,
First down
made some
run,
quick
Demaje
moves.
Williams.
and got the first down for the Gauchos.
Narbonne, that's Crenshaw,
So Daniels at quarterback for the Gauchos. Chapman's night is done after he got his team a 48-7 lead. Here's another run, and the flag flies in, but staying on his feet. A powerful run there.
Ball carrier number 32, Keyshawn Dupree.
We'll see
Stopped by 15 and
what the flag is. A great run by Williams again. He's really
Penalty flags on the field.
looking pretty big for a sophomore.
Holding is called against the Narbonne Gauchos as a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The Gauchos who are
Penalty on Narbonne. They'll get another shot. Under 6 minutes now left in the game.
Gauchos starting to celebrate here on the sideline when we get under 6 minutes.
First and 10, Narbonne.
As they will be
Crenshaw
presented
49.
with their 4th championship in 4 years.
Handoff to the right, wrapped up and brought down.
First and 13.
It's number 34 for the Gauchos.
Number 34. No game.
Speaking of titles, Narbonne has won 8 championships since 2000. This will be their 9th.
Handoff to the right. Getting back to the original line of scrimmage and picking up a little more tough running
Penalty flags are
from
on
the young
field.
Gaucho. Number 32, Keyshawn Dupree, the junior.
The ball carrier was number 32, Keyshawn Dupree. Holding again committed by the Gauchos. 10 yards from the spot of the incident.
Gauchos committed another penalty,
Gauchos
so
now pick up
this
second
backup
down
offense
from their 37.
getting brought back pretty far. Under 4.5 left
And
in the
24.
game. Run off to the left, another running back comes in.
And the tackle, Joseph Williams.
They're going to keep on running under 4 minutes now. Narbonne just trading out different running backs here.
This shows you how good this Narbonne team is. They can just put in any running back they want, and they're going to get 5 to 10 yards at least each time.
And it looks like an encroachment this time from the Cougars. Penalties, not too much of a problem for them. There were pretty even penalties on both sides, but really Narbonne just overpowered them on offense.
Going back to penalties, they killed some drives, especially for the Cougars. As you remember, they had that 1st and 35 after a few holding penalties.
Jalen Daniels, sophomore quarterback, now calling the signals for the Gauchos. Pass incomplete. 4th down coming up for Narbonne at the 45.
So Gauchos, see if they go for it on 4th down. Nothing to lose here.
Center
Their
is
young
number
quarterback in.
51, Daniel Pomade.
Little floater over the middle. Missed tackle by Crenshaw. A couple missed tackles. And lowering his shoulder and getting spun out of bounds.
Tackle by number 9, Jared Greenfield.
The Narbonne pass catcher. So no first down for him. Narbonne's going to turn it over on downs. We're under 2.5 minutes. And Crenshaw's going to have a couple plays before this game comes to a close.
10 from the 47-yard line. As time continues to diminish in the inaugural CIF City Section Open Division Football Championship game. At the conclusion of this contest, spectators are to remain in the stands and at no time are allowed onto the field. No spectators on the field. An award ceremony will follow the traditional handshake.
Johnson rolls to his left. That ball is caught. Nice catch. It looks like Patrick over there on the far sideline pulling it in.
To number 21, Dennis Patrick Jr. Making a tackle for Narbonne, number 15, Andrew Del Rueco, and number 24, Justin Bird. 6-yard gain for the Cougars, now facing 2nd and 4 at Narbonne's 47.
Johnson in the shotgun. He's got pairs of receivers to his left and right. Johnson takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, and spins out. He's going to have to run it. He's brought down after a gain of just a few. Johnson has been
Isaiah Johnson
under duress the entire game, and that's really the story of the game. Narbonne has been able to force
in the backfield.
Johnson to be uncomfortable in the pocket, and Narbonne getting ready to celebrate. We're under 45 seconds until this game ends. Johnson going to try to run a few more plays for Crenshaw.
Loss of about a yard to the 48
This game is all but over, as their coach gets a Gatorade bath before the end of the game. Players coming onto the field. Referee holds them back, but clock now down under 30 seconds. Johnson, sharp throw to the 40. He's thrown down there. Patrick, another catch. One of the best receivers on Crenshaw, found ways to get open throughout the game.
Number 30, sophomore quarterback Tim Williams. First down, Crenshaw. Time has expired.
And this game is over. The Narbonne Gauchos have taken the first ever CIF LA City Section Open Division Final. 48-7 is our score. And Garrett, the Gauchos really looked dominant throughout this game. They took an early lead, and Johnson and the Cougars really couldn't get too much offense going throughout.
Yeah, Crenshaw really had nothing going, like you said, offensively throughout the entire game. Passing game wasn't working. Running game wasn't working. The only yards they were really getting was off quarterback scrambles by their quarterback, Isaiah Johnson.
So I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to watch this game. I'd like to thank the city section for allowing us to broadcast this. We'll be bringing this to you about a week after it happened. And I'd like to congratulate both the Cougars and the Gauchos on fine seasons. The Cougars finishing their season at 10-3, as well as the Gauchos both played well throughout their seasons, and we'll see both these teams in the state playoffs coming up in a few weeks. For Garrett Finley, Max Adler, I'm Jack Dorfman. This has been ECR Live.